Hi everyone, this is Stephanie, and today I wanted to chat with you about one of my favorite tools to use to support my family's health and overall well-being. So I made a PowerPoint. I'm just going to share my screen here. So what we're going to talk about is essential oils and what exactly they are, what makes doTERRA's essential oils therapeutic and high quality for you. And then one of the most important things we'll talk about is how you can safely and effectively use essential oils to support your physical and emotional well-being. Now, one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, why am I so passionate about essential oils? And really, it just comes down to the reason that I love them so much and share them with people is because I know that there's a better way to care for ourselves and most especially to care for our children. And I want people to feel empowered in their health and to know that there are safe and natural tools that they can use to support their body physically and emotionally, and without all of those dreaded side effects that sometimes come with other methods. So doTERRA is an essential oil company, and really they are essential oils. doTERRA's mission is to use them as a natural healthcare complement. So of course we still need our, you need Eastern and Western medicine, I think, to get the best. So what is an essential oil? Well, they are natural aromatic compounds found in plants. So these could be from the bark, the stem, the leaf, the roots, and they are either steam distilled or cold pressed. And what they do for the plant, they're kind of one of the survival mechanisms for the plant, and kind of for survival, evolutionary survival. They help it to survive, I guess, in the long run. So essential oils have a lot of different properties. Different ones have different properties and different chemical components that make it up. But a lot of the properties are like antifungal or antiviral. And so these are protecting the plant from maybe like blights or diseases that the plant would get. Sometimes the essential oils are what repels predators. So if you think about a citronella plant and how that will repel mosquitoes, that's the essential oil that has that scent, that aroma, and that is what's repelling the mosquito, because the plants don't have the luxury of getting up and moving. So they have to have a defense mechanism inside to protect them. And one of the wonderful things about them is that we can then use those essential oils to support our body and to help it. One of the things that I really like about plants in general, herbs and essential oils, is just that they are outside adapting to the world every day. So all the pollutants and all of the, like I was talking about, different blights and things that attack plants, they're constantly adapting to that. So they are very good at surviving. So essential oils, they can be used 3 different ways. You can use them aromatically, so that would be where you're putting it into like a diffuser, or even if you're just taking the bottle and you could just be smelling it from the bottle, or you could be dropping it into the palm of your hand and cupping it over and smelling it that way. The second way that you can use them is topically. So that is where you would be applying them to your skin. Now, anytime that you're applying them to your skin, I would recommend diluting them with a carrier oil. So one of my favorite carrier oils is fractionated coconut oil. It absorbs in quickly, but you could also use something else that you have, avocado oil, or sometimes I've even used coconut oil that's in my kitchen. Then the third way that you can use them is internally. So this is where you're ingesting. Some of them you can just drop right, into your mouth, like under your tongue. Some of them you might put into your water, and you could also fill like a veggie cap and take them that way. Now, of course, if you're taking them internally, There are essential oils that aren't safe for internal use. So, and I'm only talking about doTERRA's oils here because of the safety of them. But if it has a supplement fact on it, then those ones are safe to take internally. Okay, so essential oils, they are very safe and very gentle. However, they are very potent and very strong. So you only need a little bit. They're very concentrated. So you don't want to like overdo it. That would not be good. So 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to about 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you have to think about how much you're going to want to use. You don't need a giant amount. So of course you want to keep it out of your eyes and out of your ears. And if you do get it into your eyes, you would want to flush that out with some oil, like olive oil or coconut oil, something like that, and not water. So we'll go on here. So why choose doTERRA essential oils? Well, essential oils are an area that is just not governed by any body watching over it. And so a lot of essential oils have synthetics put in there. So you might think that you're buying a pure essential oil, and they might actually have some synthetic fragrances or things that you're trying to avoid. A lot of them are contaminated, and a lot of them are filled with fillers, like an oil as a filler and only a little bit of essential oil. So doTERRA's are different. It goes through rigorous testing before it's ever shipped to you. So it is first tested at the during distillation, and they ensure that there's no heavy metals, no microbes, anything like that that would cause it to be unpure. And then it is again tested when it is shipped to the production factory. And then as it's being bottled, it is tested again to ensure that it is pure, that it's free of contaminants, of any pesticides or herbicides or anything like that. And I did want to point out the website there, sourcetoyou.com, is very informative and goes through a lot of the testing and all the different things about it. One of the things that I love about doTERRA is that their essential oils are sourced all over the world. So they're getting the highest quality plants that are grown in habitats where they thrive. And so the chemical constituents of that plant are very different than, like, say, lavender that you grow in your backyard. It's going to be very different than the lavender that is grown in Bulgaria and have a different composition making it up. So those reasons are all reasons that doTERRA's are a better choice and a high therapeutic quality. One of the other things that I really love about it is that all of their oils, where they get them from, they work directly with the farmer. So there's no middleman. They all get fair wages and they get paid on time. So as we're using essential oils, you're also helping out someone, a farmer in maybe a third world country. So it's a nice way to also feel like you're contributing. So this is kind of what we just talked about. So doTERRA has a certification called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and that is just the things that we talked about, ensuring that they are really beyond organic and that they're pure and natural and safe. So now we'll jump into just the top 10 oils, and I'll just give you a brief little rundown of what they can do and different ways that I've used them. So one of the first ones is peppermint, and peppermint is amazing. When you smell it, it just I feel like it kind of awakens your senses. It smells wonderful, but it also, like you would think of, promotes healthy respiratory function and clear breathing. Digestion is another one for it. One of the things I like to do with it pretty often is if I have like some head tension, I will drop the peppermint into my hand and kind of like just rub it together, and then I'll massage it into my temples and maybe across my forehead. It's also great for relieving like muscles that might be like a little tender. So sometimes in the middle of the day, like if your neck or shoulders are getting tense, it's a great one to rub in there. It feels really great, and it really helps to, it kind of gives that little like tingly feeling, like if you had put like a muscle rub or something on, it feels really great. But another thing that I like to do with it is maybe in the afternoon when you're starting to get like kind of run down or something like that, is to just drop a little in my hand, and then I'll just inhale it, and you can really feel it travel through, I feel like your nasal passages and your sinuses, and it's really awakening. It helps to kind of invigorating, I guess. So the next one I'm going to talk about is lavender. And when you think of lavender, it's all things calming. And I think that we kind of already know that. So a lot of times I will use that one for the kids when they're getting ready for bed. So I might diffuse it in their diffuser in their bedroom, and it just creates an atmosphere that's very relaxing, very calming, and helps them get ready for bed. There's also, sometimes you can even put that in the bath. So maybe with a cup of Epsom salt, you'll put like 5 drops of lavender and put that in their bath before going to bed. One of my other favorite ways to use it is for skin, and to help promote the regeneration of skin cells. So if you burn your hand on the oven, or maybe you're out in the sun too long, it's a great one to apply. Now, I have applied this one without a carrier oil, but I would always recommend diluting it if you can. So I know my nephew, last year we went to the beach, and his face was pretty pink after spending some time in the sun, and we mixed a little bit of lavender with some, I think it might have been frankincense, but I know it was lavender, and we applied that to his face at night, and when he woke up the next day, he felt much better. Now, he still had some pinkness, in his skin, but it was feeling better, and it healed very quickly for him. The next one is OnGuard, and now this one is a blend of oils. So they've taken different oils like wild orange, eucalyptus, clove, and they've combined them to really make an immune blend to really help support the immune system. So this is a great one to put into your diffuser, like in November, December, January, when people are getting, not feeling well more often, and things such as that. So there's also a little testimonial that one of my friends sent me, that one way that she used OnGuard topically on her daughter with good success. But so it's great for when you diffuse it, those particles get into the air, and then they can help actually cleanse the air and promote healthy air. One of the other things that's great to do with it is to dilute it with maybe some water and vinegar, and maybe put a little bit of alcohol or vodka in there to just preserve it, and to use that to spray like doorknobs, countertops, things such as that. Now, doTERRA does have a cleaner concentrate that has the OnGuard in it, so I like to use that. You just mix a couple tablespoons of it with some water, and then use it as a multi-purpose cleaner, and it's very powerful. The essential oils are great for helping to keep the area clean. But this is one that I will often put, I'll fill a little roller bottle up, which I should have grabbed one. I'll go grab one. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you can get these little roller bottles, and then I fill it with mostly fractionated coconut oil. See, there's a little roller ball like on top of that. And fill it mostly with fractionated coconut oil, put a couple drops of OnGuard in there, and the dilution ratio is different if it's like a child versus an adult, but I have all that stuff if you want that. Put it in there, and then before the kids go to school, I will just roll this maybe down their spine. That's a great place to put it. Or the bottoms of the feet is another good place to put it. The pores are larger in the bottom of the feet, and most people's skin there isn't as sensitive. So if you do find that your skin is sensitive elsewhere, it may not be on the bottoms of your feet. So sometimes if we've been around other people who are not feeling well and we come home from somewhere like that, I will get this out and start using it. I will also sometimes put a couple drops in a veggie capsule and take it that way. Now, I only really do that if I feel like I'm starting to get something, or if I was around somebody who was really not feeling well. And I can say that I have had really good success with that. When I went to Utah this year, and when I left, 2 of my kids were sick, and then I flew to Utah with, there was about 30,000 other people there at the convention that I was at. And then I came home and my husband wasn't feeling well, and I was fine through all that, through the travel and through all those people. But I did a lot of this stuff to help be proactive in my health. So I'm not saying that this is going to ever prevent you from ever getting sick. That's not accurate, but it's a way for me to be proactive. Okay, so then the next one is lemon. And lemon, you know, just like when you peel a lemon, it's just really fresh, and I feel like it's kind of summery or whatever, but it smells great. So with this one, you may want to put a drop in your water in the morning or throughout the day, it doesn't matter. Now, if you're going to use it in your water or, you know, in a tea or something like that, make sure that you are using glass or stainless steel, because the lemon can really break down petrochemicals, and you don't want like it breaking down plastic and drinking that. That'd be terrible. But what it does is it helps to activate the liver enzymes, which helps with the detoxification. So it's great that way. It's also a great one that you could use to make a, to clean like countertops and things. So you could mix a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of water, and a couple drops of lemon, and use that as a cleaner. You could also, I use it sometimes to clean fruits and vegetables. So I'll get a bowl of the fruits or vegetables I want to wash, add a little bit of vinegar, add a couple drops of lemon, just to help, release some of the grime and stuff from the vegetables. It's also great for removing stickers. So if you have like your kids put stickers on the floor, like mine sometimes do, it's great for that. It really helps to pull it right up. So we'll move on to the next one. Melaleuca is one of my favorites. I don't feel like it smells very good, but I just love it for what it does. Now, Melaleuca has lots of properties like antifungal properties, antiviral properties, and this is really the first one that I used, and I saw it working. I knew it worked. So because of those things I just said, like antiviral, antifungal, sometimes if I bite my cheek, or I'm brushing my teeth and I kind of jab my gums a little too hard, I will get a very sore spot there that will continue to grow and get, or I don't know if it grows, but it gets bigger and it opens up, and it's very, very sore and uncomfortable. So I will just take the Melaleuca bottle and tip it over, get a little on my finger, and I will apply it to the tender spot, and it helps to numb the pain. So initially I was just doing it because it helped numb the pain, and so I could go throughout my day without a lot of discomfort. But and I continue, I don't use it once and then all day I'm good. Like I did that a couple of times a day, but I found that those sore spots that I was talking about, which typically lasted like about 14 days, would be healed up in more like 4 days. And I've consistently been able to do that. So I love it for that. And then I will also use it. Like a year ago, my daughter needed some support with her respiratory system. And so I used a little bit of Melaleuca with a little bit of lemon and diluted it and applied it to her chest. And then every couple hours I would do that. And she woke up the next day with clearer breathing, but she still had a runny nose. Again, it wasn't like cured overnight or anything. These are just ways to support your body without like the side effects maybe that come with some other things. Okay, So oregano. Now this is really like a powerhouse essential oil, and it is very hot. So this is one that you are not going to want to put on your skin unless you dilute it. And I would also not recommend just dropping it into your mouth because that kind of burns and it doesn't feel very good at all. But it is wonderful if you feel like you're coming down with something. So actually my daughter woke up today and she had like a little bit of a cough. And so to support her immune system, I got out the oregano, very diluted, you know, like in a roller bottle here. And I just applied a little bit to the bottoms of her feet. And then I applied another oil to her chest, which I'll talk about when we get there. So this one I will take in a veggie capsule only if I really feel like I might be getting something. So it's not one that I use a ton, but when it's like, when you're really wanting to be proactive or really help your body stimulate the immune system, then I definitely get it out. And one of the things about essential oils is that they are very high in antioxidants. So, and those antioxidants are what your body uses to clean up like free radical damage. So, you know, we're all exposed to pollutants and things, but the essential oils are kind of like free radical scavengers, and they help to clean those up for us. So they're a great thing to use. Frankincense is wonderful. I love frankincense. I like the aroma of it. I find it very like calming and kind of grounding, but I do know some people who do not enjoy the scent of it. So I don't know which one category you'll fall into, but it's wonderful for the skin and helping to regenerate skin cells. So if you've damaged your skin, maybe you've had like a cut or a scrape and you want to use it that way, or you could apply it to like your face serum, or not apply it to, add it to your face serum. It's wonderful to use that way. Frankincense is one of those ones that is just great on the cellular level. Now, one of the interesting things about essential oils is that they can actually interact with our cells because they can actually pass the cell membrane. And then what makes them so powerful is because they can do that, but they can interact with the cell. So when you go to maybe like the doctor and you find out that you have a virus, typically they send you home and they say, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that we can do because they can't give you an antibiotic for a virus. But essential oils have that ability to cross the cell membrane, so they can actually help to stop the virus from duplicating and spreading. So they help with that. They're supporting your immune system. So this is kind of where I really got intrigued with them. When my oldest son had just turned 1, he got his first, you know, flu virus thing. And it was like 4 or 5 days of just a fever and not wanting to eat and crying and not wanting to sleep. And when I called the doctor, you know, the only thing that I could do was give him Tylenol followed by Advil, Tylenol, Advil. And as a mom and just the type of person I am, I mean, I like to do things as natural as possible if there's an option. And so I was giving him Tylenol and, or ibuprofen, not Advil. I think it's ibuprofen. I don't remember. But anyhow, I knew those were filled with high fructose corn syrup, you know, red food coloring and all this stuff. And although it would bring his fever down for a little bit, it was also reducing his immune system's ability to fight. And it was also, you know, those things aren't good for your overall health. So what I like about essential oils is that I can support the body in helping it to get stronger and to, you know, help the body to fight off what it needs to fight off. So that's really was, one of those situations where you kind of like, you feel like you're failing, you feel kind of hopeless in a situation. And after that is when I really started to say, you know, I need to learn some other ways so that when something like this happens, I don't have to sit here and do nothing or do something that doesn't feel like right to me. So anyhow, frankincense is great on a cellular level. I love to massage it on my kid's back, maybe at night with a little bit of lavender, and just talk to them about their day, rub their backs, and they enjoy that. So it's a time of connecting, and it's a time of relaxation, and it's also healthy for their cells. Okay, deep blue, this is one that you're going to use topically. You definitely don't want to take this one internally. But this is great for your muscles and your joints. So anything that's like sore or tender, so this could be like from working out, or it could be from, you know, maybe getting older and just like your knees are getting a little more, you know, they don't feel as good as they used to. So this is also a blend. And for the like pain relief, it has wintergreen, it has peppermint and camphor, I believe is in it. But then it also has anti-inflammatory properties. So that would be like your blue tansy and your blue chamomile. And so this one it does have like a bluish color. It's really pretty because the blue tansy is actually blue. And then breathe. So this is also a blend of essential oils, and it has peppermint, eucalyptus, the Melaleuca that I talked about earlier, and lemon, and cardamom. But the different oils in there have a great blend of properties that help have properties such as being an expectorant and being a decongestant, and just really helping to open up the airways. So this is one when I was talking about my daughter and her respiratory support, I used the Melaleuca and lemon, and then maybe like 4 hours later, I would use the breathe, dilute that down and rub that on her chest. At the same time, I would put a little bit of a diluted roller ball of OnGuard on the bottoms of her feet, just to help her body as it, you know, was trying to fight that off. And breathe smells wonderful. I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like the smell of breathe. So it's great in their diffuser. So of course I was using that in her diffuser at night as well. So those are kind of, oh, there is one more, I'm sorry. Digest Zen. So like it sounds, it's a digestive support one. And this is a great one. You know, if you've maybe eaten, maybe it's the holidays and you've had like more food than your stomach really was ready to handle, or just more like not the greatest quality of food, then it's a great one to use. Sometimes I will just drop it under my tongue and do it that way, or you could also, you know, dilute it and roll it onto your abdomen or stomach. And this is one that I have made for my my son. He sometimes, his stomach will get upset and he'll ask me to roll that on him. And I'll roll it on and I'll kind of massage it in, and then he usually finds comfort from that. I also know some people who use it for, you know, maybe traveling in the car usually makes them feel not great, and they sometimes will just smell it, and they found success with that also. Okay, so of course, now that I've talked all about essential oils and how much I love them, one of the questions is, how do you get started with them so that you can have these tools in your house? And that is one of my favorite things about doTERRA, is that they want to educate and empower families with these tools. So everybody can get them for the wholesale pricing. You don't have to come to me or anybody else to buy your essential oils. What you can get is a membership, which is very similar to like a Sam's Club or a Costco membership, and you'll get 25% off of the retail price. And there's no monthly quota. You can buy one thing a year, and you know, that's fine. And there's no need to sell it. You don't have to talk to your family or friends, but you know, when you use them and you like them, you probably will talk to them, but you don't have to. So my favorite way to get started, the way I got started, was with an enrollment kit. So those top 10 oils that we just talked about, there's 2 different kits that have those 10 oils. There's the I guess I'll start on the left side. The Home Essentials Kit has those 10 oils. They're 50 milliliter bottles, and it comes with a diffuser that I was talking about, like to, you know, diffuse it into the air. And that is $275 to start with that one. Or the Family Essentials Kit comes with 5 milliliter bottles of those 10 oils. And there's no diffuser with that, but you do get little beadlets, the OnGuard and Peppermint beadlets. And those are just like you put them in your mouth. It's just little, almost like a teeny tiny mint, like the peppermint one. But that kit is $150. So the Home Essentials Kit, you get 3 times the amount of oils, but it's not 3 times the price. So those are both good ones. And there are other ones. If you want to get your fractionated coconut oil, there's a kit that has that. And if none of these suit your needs, but you feel like maybe you just want a couple oils here or there, you can also customize your kit. So you can reach out to me. There's my email, just stephaniemusco@gmail.com, and we can figure out what would best, you know, suit you. And then after your enrollment, you will have a natural lifestyle overview with me, and you can tell me more about your specific needs or concerns, and then I'll help you kind of set up your essential oils in a way that would help you to figure out how you might want to use them. And then we also have a Facebook group that you can join, Hearts and Hope, and it's full of just amazing people, kind people who are always willing to help and have shared a lot of different ways that they've used oils that I've been able to learn from them. And so it's just a nice community. And you'll also have access to all of our educational resources. I am always learning more. I love learning about essential oils. It's just a passion and an interest of mine. And then I always like to pass that along, because I feel like when I got started years ago, it just took me a while to really figure out how to use them. So I want to help you to cut that time down and be able to use them safely and effectively. And every month we also have a continuing education class that you're welcome to participate in, and you don't have to, just to learn more ways that you can use your oils. As you heard me talk there, you probably heard how they can be used for the physical side of things. They can also be used to clean up your environment. So, you know, to get some of those toxic cleaners and things out of your house. And then, of course, there are ways that you can contact me, our Facebook group, and through my email. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you have questions, go ahead and reach out to me. And thank you guys so much.